I'm Rob Greenfield, and this backpack is everything I own. It's about 50 possessions. Besides being a person who just generally tries to live simply, I'm also an environmental activist and an adventurer, trying to do things that really catch people's attention and get them to think about our lives. Does more stuff make us happier? So what are the possessions that I own? First, the clothes on my back. One t-shirt and a pair of shorts. Along with this t-shirt, I have 3 more shirts, 2 t-shirts, 1 long sleeve, all green. I have a wool sweater, and then another smaller sweater, long sleeve, 1 pair of pants, another pair of shorts, 2 pairs of boxers, and 1 pair of socks. And then I have 1 pair of sandals, no shoes. I grew up in a very small town in northern Wisconsin, and I was raised by my single mom along with my 3 siblings. And my mom made only around $15,000 a year. I had all of my basic needs met, and I had a good childhood, but I always felt like I didn't have as much as other people. Almost none of my friends came over to my house because I was too embarrassed. I didn't want them to see that I was poor. So I grew up basically hiding my true self, and that created this desire to fit in, to be normal. And what I saw as normal was having a lot of nice stuff. I have a handkerchief with this backpack, a day pack as well, so I don't always have to carry this stuff with me. I have a pillow since I travel quite a bit. In my early 20s, I made a goal. I wanted to be a millionaire by the time I was 30 years old. During my summers, I was working between 80 and 90 hours a week, making as much money as I could. And then during the school years, I was partying. Generally 3 nights a week, and my life was very focused on partying, on pursuing women, and it was largely about an image. It was about pursuing what I saw as the American dream. I became pretty focused on material possessions and on financial wealth. I had 2 cars, I had a boat, and I had a large closet of clothes, and I was definitely creating my self-worth based on the things that I had. As far as personal care items and hygiene, the things that I have are some biodegradable soap, toothpaste, a toothbrush, some essential oil, moisturizer for the body, scissors, fingernail clippers, dental floss, earplugs, and for cutting my hair and my beard, a hand-powered razor, shaves by hand. Now, a lot of people see me today where everything that I own fits into my backpack, and I tell them about my past, and they think there must have been some sort of major moment of enlightenment. But actually, there was nothing like that. What happened was I simply started to watch a lot of documentaries and read a lot of books, and I started to realize that almost every single action that I was taking was destroying the very world that I loved. The food that I was eating, the car that I was driving. So I decided that I wanted to change my life. Continuing on, I have my money. 1, 2, 3, 36, 37, $3,780. This is all of my money, no bank account, no credit card, no debit card, no life savings or life insurance or insurance of any sorts, nothing owed to me, and I don't owe to anybody else. If I was robbed, I could lose everything. For a lot of people, that would be scary, but for me, it's the ultimate freedom. I set out to start downsizing my life, to start being happy with what I had rather than always feeling like I needed more. First, just went through my possessions, and I would look at them and I'd ask myself, do I use this? Do I get purpose from this? And I would get rid of the things I wasn't using and that weren't adding value to my life. I went from a 3-bedroom apartment to eventually living from one of the rooms into the 6-foot by 6-foot closet. And from there, I simplified from having my apartment to a tiny house, which was a 50 square foot tiny house. And then I simplified to having just 111 possessions, which I then traveled with for about 2 years. After that, I actually lived in a 100 square foot tiny house in Orlando while I grew and foraged 100% of my food. And then I went back to traveling and got my life down to just 50 possessions. So it's been a long process in simplifying. I spent hundreds of hours decreasing the amount of stuff that I had and changing my mindset to realizing that I didn't need those things. For identification, I have a passport, and I have a birth certificate. Technology-wise, I have my laptop, 2 chargers right now, one because I'm here in Europe, one for when I get back to the United States, my headphones, and then this is actually a possession that I don't own. I'm actually borrowing this right now. It's a little microphone. I think I only have one life. I'm not going to work away my whole life to have some freedom at the end of it. I'm gonna live a good life for my entire life. Living simply allows me to do that. And it's about living more sustainably. The less that I need, the more I'm able to live in the present moment, and the more that I'm able to do the things that really matter. Not having a cell phone, for example, means that when I am with my friends, I'm actually with my friends, rather than having the distraction of texts coming in or going to the inbox messages of social media. I have loose leaf tea, and then a tea strainer, a water bottle, a pot for cooking, as well as a bowl and a to-go container, and then a spoon. I have one book, and I always just swap them out with a new book, a bookmark, which is one of Gandhi, which reminds me to keep life simple. And lastly, my notebook and a pen. Today, I own about 47 possessions, but that does change from day to day. That number is not the most important part of it. It's a goal, it's an exercise of keeping my life really simple. I believe that we need to act now in order to have a chance for a sustainable future. What we're currently doing isn't working. It's not working overall for the majority of humanity and the other species that we share this earth with. This is drastic, but I believe that we need drastic measures. Small, little, incremental changes are not enough when you look at the state of the world today. You cannot have infinite growth on a finite planet. This is about saying no to finding my purpose and my health and my happiness in material possessions. This is about me saying, no, we don't need to destroy the very earth that we live on in order to have a quality society and happy, healthy human beings. And then the very last thing that I always forget is on this computer, this is a bumper sticker, and yes, this counts as a possession as well. It says we must be the change that we wish to see in the world, and that is my philosophy in life.